Hey guys, as you can see, the production manager has quit again. This is me, Lady Hippy at the bar. I hope everybody that's been looking for me has found me because I've certainly been looking for you guys. Again, I'm going to have to fire the production team. You know, they tell you that the camera adds 10 pounds. It doesn't. No, 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 it doesn't. It adds 40. So you want to be way. Unfortunately, I'm working from a small screen, so I need to be able to see me. So, you know, and okay, it feels like a Monday. We're having one of those Groundhog Weeks, you know, like every day is Friday the 13th. Wasn't just us. Horrific the storms that went through. And I said yesterday that this went through 6 states. These tornadic breakouts from one system apparently ran through. They said there was 160 tornadoes in that time period in those states. Ignore it. It's still the Kitty 500. Yeah, I charge. It's entertainment only, guys. I'm going to be here all week. I know most of you. Don't do that. Just not a good day. Um, so then here I am laughing and describing such destruction in state after state after state. Whole subdivisions are gone. Businesses are, if they are still there, they're barely there in many of the areas. It starts with an S, and I can't remember. I don't know why. I've tried to for 2 days, but they've had the worst of it. Now I said they were going to say that these were E1s or E2s on the Fujita scale for tornadic activity, and I said flat out that this destruction, they went up to a 4, and they started around a 2, hit 3, and then hit 4 by the time it hit that city in Oklahoma. I mean, they could say all day long, but they did actually say that they think it might, it might have been an E4 at the city there in Oklahoma. Starts with an S. I'm sorry, guys. I'll drop it in a link if you'd like to see it better, or just pop up. It's still, hit news and it'll come up. I use YouTube for news as well because, and no, I don't do NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, MS, NBC. I think I got most of them. Now, if I want anything about politics, I read a book. Because the politicians we have today are not politicians, they're crooks, they're traitors, and they deal out treason on a regular, daily, hourly, second basis. And that's all I want to say about politics today. Again, I hope I've gotten to everybody, and people are beginning to find me now. If you do me one favor, even if you can't get through the whole show and I'm trying to hurry because it's been that time of day, at least throw a like at me. If you can, I would so appreciate it. It helps the channel so much if you would hit the bell to subscribe. It'll just give you, like you do any other ones, you probably have some already that do it. You don't have to jump right to YouTube to see the video. It's just giving you a time to say, oh, she got off the butt, made one. So you want to check it out. And again, we are Lady Hippy at the bar. I should change the viewing, and I just haven't had time. So maybe you could see. I've chat with a chair, and you really can't see the back of me. Maybe it would be better view. I'm kind of in a corner. It's just my husband put up both systems quickly because I thought I was going to have guests and so forth. So the two systems were set up and wired at the bar because my studio just was not ready. And with everything that's been going on week per week, it's never going to get ready. It's just something every day. Dishwasher went out. Yeah, that was, yeah, right. Yeah. Before the first of the month, dishwasher goes out. And we've been here almost 11 years, and that's the second dishwasher. Which my son gave us, as a matter of fact, because ours had broke down, and they had bought a dishwasher about 2 weeks before ours went out, and they went ahead and asked us if we wanted theirs. It was still in the garage. We're like, "Are you kidding?" So that's so lucky this time, and even $350 for one is on the cheaper line. It's, yeah. Good to see you coming. Let's see how much plastic can we put here and die out about 18 months. Okay, yeah, add that. So that's what they're doing. The warranties go out on cars, they break down. As soon as the warranty, they make this stuff, all that tensile testing and all that stuff they do, horse hiking. They're doing it just so they can make sure that puppy falls apart as soon as you have to pay them for it. And again, I better get off that soapbox. It's just one thing after another. And yes, the Kitty 500 is still going. And I've named her Fierce because she still doesn't have teeth. Both eyes I'm still treating for infection. I don't know where she came from. She was well fed. The mother took good care of her. But I have her here in one of the bar stools. And since the Kitty 500 is going on, she's getting a little restless. So you might see me do that a lot. I may have to just, yeah, pick her up. And she's like a human kitten. I've learned a lot. I never, my husband, when something goes wrong, and we now have one that goes into anaphylactic shock, and that's why they tried to cut her tail off because the tracer is put there. And so this one, we don't know if, hey, say hi. We don't know if she wandered off or if the mother had to run because there was a car and dropped her. But they did find her in the middle of the street. And when they came to our door with her, they said they couldn't keep her and we're going to put her on the sidewalk instead of the road, but in the area where they were found, which is not far from my home. But it's not one of the, uh, I call them alley cats that I've seen in the last year or two. So I don't know who could be her. She's too young for any of the cats that I see to be having a litter, unnoticed. So in fact, there are 5 kittens out there. So one of them did, and I knew which one was pregnant. It's hard to miss even on them. So yeah, I mean, another one of those days. I'm still trying to get our phones straightened out because since some other company bought them out. I don't remember who it was. The phones have never been right. They'll turn them off and say, we have to fill it. And then we're like, we're an autofill. And then we don't. And we've been with you for like 2 decades. What the hell are you doing? And then it's, well, we'll have to do this all over again when we open at 9 o'clock. And my husband's just furious. I'm like, you can survive a couple of hours without a phone. Well, he had put in an order for the dishwasher to pick up today. So he was wondering how he was going to do all of that. And still, because you take 2 hours to get these turned back on again. I mean, they got to know your mother's maiden name, when was their date of birth. Well, they have all that. It's so funny. I mean, let a bill collector come after you these days. They know every address you have ever lived in, every state in the military you went to, overseas. They know it all. So I don't know why they're always telling all of us, "Oh, it's identity theft." Yeah, well, you already did that. So, like, yeah, come say, come on. I mean, a little late. I mean, people see our bank account, they run screaming from the room. I mean, it's just. It's not like they're gonna go, look how much money we've got. That whole $27 could do. We can get a gallon of gas. I'm in one of those moods, but it's just been, like I said, a few days of roughness. This little one, I couldn't believe it. I sometimes if I can't sleep, and it was about midnight, and I was still watching over because thought she would need a feeding around then. And I changed it over to I like to hear rain and thunder and so forth, puts me to sleep. And it got me a cup of my little bedtime tea and some chamomile, calm down for the day. Drank all that. Just looked at stuff and was doing some editing. And finally, I got tired and she had woke up. And I thought, oh, okay, should be okay. I'll just lay here on the other side of her. She's on my bed, and you try not to move. And here she goes. And so, yeah, that's the kind of night I thought coming at me. Instead, she slept until 6:30. You don't want your bottle? You want to run around. You can't do that yet. Yeah, this one is one, that's so little you can't let him just run around the house. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack if you lose sight of them. It's worth. Used to put a collar on my kid, with a little and a little leash. They thought that was so inhumane. It's like he left me at Macy's and had to close the mall to find him. He was a year and a half or 2 years old. Like, don't you ever? He did. He did. He did it at Sears. About 5 months later. I was a little smarter that time. I just reported it as missing so they could, close just the doors so he couldn't get out. And of course, they found him in a rack of clothes that went to the floor. And there he was watching everybody run around and laugh. And he thought it was so funny till he got home. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to have to do this. And I wanted to get this done and straighten out the phones and make sure they have it right this time. All kinds of crazy stuff. They had expired cards for one from 2 years ago or 3 years ago. We're like, how have we been paying this? We paid this last month with this card here, and you're not counting that card. Well, we can't see that card. Well, then fix your freaking website. You can't do too much because they're not actively open yet. They're not. So I'm going online to talk do a chat. So hopefully by the time I get ready and get this done, I can get him back up on the phone. I wouldn't care. He wouldn't, and he insists that I keep a phone. So I no, you can't go. This is why I call her fierce. I mean, this baby has no teeth. Both eyes were swollen shut when I got her. Um, she, she had a lot wrong. Maybe she just wants to cuddle for a little while. She likes to do that. So we'll try that. I'm going to end that life someday. I'm going to end it. See, she's the marking she has is nothing. She looks like my Serenity a lot, like a Persian. My Serenity is a full. Hello, Pixie. Get down. I'm going to have to get the ball. You can see her later. Get down. It's okay, Pixie. I ain't going to shoot you. Just stay right there. Wait, right there. Actually, stay right there. She's been real good with Fierce, but I can't have her in front of the camera too. That's another reason I said I'm trying to run through this fast. I know everybody's seen the damage in Oklahoma, but I was right too about what they would say about the scale of these monsters. They were huge. They do agree again on one F4 um, on the cheetah scale hitting that city. Well, you just don't take no for anything because I've got her up here. I might as well just do a kitty show. Feel for me. I'm just saying. I did say it was for entertainment purposes only, and that I have a circus system of cats, and so there's always something to laugh at besides me, which may not be that great. I don't know. So I'm with Oklahoma in particular, but all the states, and this was horrific. These outbreaks don't do this. Um, I'm honest about my age. I'll be 65 soon, which is not, I'm not 72. It's okay. They're not thinking 45. So, it's good. Most days it's okay. Then there are other days, and I think I have a 25-year-old grandson, and I look in the mirror and I go, why am I still here? And why do people want to live forever? I don't get it. I mean, it's harder and harder to get on your feet every day. It's just like none of your muscles and things want to work, and you've actually gone 4 rounds with a boxer or some crap, a car accident. I don't know. You get it, and they're like the old $6 million man, barely moving. By the time I get a cup of coffee and a shower, I'm still a little faster, barely moving. And of course, by 6 or 7 in the evening, I'm beat to death. I mean, but this one slept from midnight on, so that was great for me. I got some sleep. I don't. This is about what I sleep is like midnight or so to 6 a.m. Maybe a little earlier. I don't need a lot of sleep. A lot of people need 8 hours sleep, and I don't do it. I just I try being mad about it. Just stay in bed, you go back to sleep. I don't. It's 2 hours wasted of me turning. And in my head, I'm thinking you could be doing this, 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 and this because you're not going to go back to sleep. So I learned, took a while. And here we go. You can see her now. And she's quite cute, and she's just a little roly poly. She really was well fed, and I worry because I'm giving her a supplement. And you again. Yes, it's still the bottle. Say hi. Get out of the way. Go over here. Go on. Get in the chair, you silly bug. Ah, yes. This is the cat edition. She thinks she's mom now. This is the last one I saved that actually walked into my hand when I freed her from underneath a shelf after the tornado hit the greenhouse. And I hadn't been out there for a couple of days, so I don't know how long she was trapped under there. Her eye was cut way open and infected, and it was a real mess. She still has one eye that's slightly bigger than the other, but she still has the eye. Uh, the sister that my friend took, I didn't know. And I don't guess she had noticed that she had an eye problem. And apparently, they didn't fix it. And so she lost sight of the eye, but she kept the eye. But it's a big red sore wound, is what it looks like. So this is just terrible on her. So I'm always treating her as well lately. Uh, you know, my antibiotics end up going to the kitties. A lot of people don't realize what herbs and things that pharmacies actually use. Bear aspirin is another one nobody should use. They use Jewish women prisoners and used them as science projects and killed tons of them. So bear is a product I don't use. Aspirin, however, I like Anacin. It does the job and it's fairly inexpensive. Most people don't know about it, I think. It's from my childhood and they still make it and they still sell it. And so, I just pounded this soapbox for years that the pharmaceutical companies are, here we go. They're charging us out the yin yang for stuff that, like aspirin, comes from a willow tree and is worth 50 cents a tablet. And regular bear aspirin, I use them again because I don't like them. And stuff like any name brand is like through the roof. All right, here. Pixie, get down, back in there. Get down. All right, look here. Here, keep her company before I have to do the kitty 500. It's ridiculous trying to tell cats what to do. A dog would have done it 12 times by now. The cat's not going to move. All right, and one of them that's staying with us has not been neutered like mine have. And if you'll let me put her in there, pick some up. Pixie. And this one's just to go get her. Let me see. Now you can see her fairly well since she's wide awake. And look at him. And she has no teeth yet. So she's not even 2 weeks old. And put her in the street. And the people that brought her to us, we're just going to put her back on the sidewalk. Wish her luck and go on. So I guess it's, God sent her to us. We don't know why. And, in this past year, in the past year, we've adopted two more uh, with severe injuries. And Ghost, we don't know yet why we can't get Ghost right. I know, I know, I know. I think you're wanting to eat, but you always fuss at me. Pixie, where were you when I said get over there? Pixie, get down. Yep. This ought to be entertaining for me to see when I. Yeah, you have to swallow them at least a little bit. And for her, it's since it's she doesn't like to take the ballot first. Pixie, we can't see. Get down. Get down, Pixie. You take something to drink? No? Yes, you do. Don't you're pushing the ball away. It's it's like what? She slept all night, so she should be hungry. This one won't stay off because I have her up here. And it's because I can't leave her. My bed, I actually have a step stool that was made for me as a wedding gift. It's really lovely, carved into beautiful wood. And so that's what I step on to get into bed. So it's a very high bed. Only time I've ever had to step up to get in a bed. I've had to, I think, sit down to get in one bed. So yeah, and that's because he only buys me a pillow top, and we've determined that this time when we buy a new mattress, not to get a pillow top. I think it's contributing to my back problems. I need a harder surface, but at least I got some sleep. So those of you hopefully that saw Oklahoma, what's been happening there was the worst. I still disagree with them about how big the tornadoes were, and going through the states. Then look it up yourselves. You'll find that now, or I would say in the last 10 years especially, we're getting horrendous outbreaks. We're getting tons of tornadoes. Back in the day, we used to get a tornado. That's never been in question to me. What's in question to me is how many, and they show up out of nowhere. It's just blue skies, and suddenly they have waves of these things coming through, and they won't also agree to 160 that went through. They're saying that only about 60 went through. That's it. Now I'm losing my patience. You shush. You get down. Get. Hey, hey, get. Uh, I lost my patience. I'm stuck here somewhere. And I don't remember. Oh, yeah. They are only doing going with the 60 tornadoes. Personally, it used to be you gave your testimony, swore by God, and that was acceptable. Your word was gold. Nowadays, if you don't have video to back it up, you're lying. This is not a good picture of me about the cat. I'm leaving it. If nothing else, you guys are going to see how funny it is at my house. She's actually eating, and I can't see her because Pixie, get in the chair. Oh, and she's sliding down my lap. I'm in a summer dress that's has about this pattern and it some there's some butterflies and stuff on that at the bottom. It's a full length with a high rise uh, area, so it's a full skirt that flows as you walk. I like those. This was very thin. And so I like these in the 50 dresses. They're comfortable. And yet, if I wanted to, I could step out, go to the store or whatever without changing. And if only I try to dress where I can in a minute jump out of the house and get going because it's been a kind of a crazy month already. And I have VA appointments coming up. I'm trying so hard not to cancel because of the fact that the doctor was angry nobody had taken any film of the area of my back that radiates so much pain. And I'm in so much pain now, I could just cry. If I could, I'd quit. I think God keeps sending me these babies because then I got to do stuff. I had to sweep and mop and vacuum and Swiffer and then wet Swiffer and polish. And I did all that yesterday and the day before. Um, and that's it. Pixie, get down right now. Definitely such a hard head too. This one too. I named her Fierce. I mean, she was so fierce, or fierce, however you want to put it. But if I was somebody who would call her like fierce, she's certainly a fighter, and she's so intelligent. And yet, I swear to you, she has no teeth. And it's like human babies; they start cutting teeth at a certain age, and it's the same thing with cats. And cats, they age 7 years to R1, so they grow fast. And I'm grateful because when they're like this, it's like a human baby. You have to have eyes on 24/7. If I could make it where she wouldn't fall off my bed, which I explained was so high and got distracted. Long story, really longer. Again, entertainment purposes, folks. Welcome to the Kitty Circus. I wanted to remind everybody at Social Woodstock, I'm on live top chat here. You can throw anything at the wall and let it stick. Anything and everything is something I want to talk about. You know, what is a GTO, guys? Huh? You still call it a goat? Yes, we do. I would love to hear from everybody that's out there. It's the 7D show, only in social networking. And I call it social Woodstock. And again, I want to thank those who've already stuck it out a little bit with me. I need subscription, guys. Tickle those bells. You know, you can. It's free, and you can dash them out if you want to later on or at any time. I think it's about 5 seconds of practice. I think a lot of people are surprised that I'm up here doing this. I know I'm surprised. I was never one to be a public speaker, I didn't think. But then actually, when I did think about it, I thought, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Debate team and all that. I argued with cardinals, so maybe I'm a little pushy. this I got some stories. I really should write a book. I think I've been lucky in some ways. Well, in most ways, I didn't go to jail. That was nice. I didn't end up severely hurt too many times while in the army. And it was this man's army. They actually told us you're not women. We're like, oh shit, you can leave right now, and they will send you in a bus home. And you will not have actually served, so you won't actually have something that gives you a rejection or anything like that. So it's not on you. You don't have to stay because this is not what you volunteered for. And I was like, screw you. I volunteered. Teach my ass. I ain't going nowhere. So I'm thinking I've been stubborn since I was like, well, I don't know, 7, 8 years old. And yeah, I'm a bit of a pain, as you can see. And I could shoot Robert, but at the same time, he didn't have a choice. The people that brought the kitten here knew that somebody in his house would take them. So that means everybody calls me the cat lady around here, which I never thought I would hear. Uh, oh, that's good coffee too. Mm. And so I'm going to have to do this short, which means you're going to miss a lot of cats. This is why I needed a stiffener. I am still hitting some Glenlivet, so it's 14 years old and it is awesome, just awesome. And I see Fierce his bench, and I do the weak motion, make sure they can hear my heart, things like that, because this one's so very little, and all of them that we have are all rescues, um, literally. I think I posted Pixie's pictures where her eye was gone. I thought I'm surprised how I saved that. They take the same antibiotics as me, and Robert, as where I was going with the aspirin designation. They don't tell you that, but there's a lot of medicines that they give the animals that they charge you out the wazoo for that you also have been given as a human or a patient, and in particular, an antibiotic. That is across the board, no matter what. If they've got, foot disinfection, whatever infection they have, they'll throw right on it. I've been worried also. I just saw a flash about Princess Catherine and how worried I am. I know her and Prince William and the children are all very worried. As you can see, she decided to join the parade because I said she couldn't sit him on land. It never gets dull here. I should end birds, birds flying, cats flying. That's a hell of a channel, isn't it? Be? So, in any event, some other people had asked about how to find me. So, hey, special hi out to them. Thanks for joining up. I try not to be boring. I can't say if I've missed that or not, but I give it a shot. Yeah. If you guys want to see anything, if there's a clip you want to see, besides if you're seeing it on there, uh, let me know. I'll throw a stream out. I'll drop a clip. It doesn't matter. I don't like to just. I watch a lot of YouTube. I'm into paranormal anything and everything. And so, yeah, that's always something I'm watching, and I have subscribed to. That's free as well. YouTube's free, and so is the subscription to anyone. And I see a lot of people I don't think have YouTube. They haven't bothered. They have such expensive bills with DirecTV and Dish and all that, that they probably have never downloaded it thinking it was an app or something. I know I didn't for years. It was my grandson who said, "Oh no, you got to see this." And then he kept showing me, but it was on his stuff. And finally I asked him, I was like, "Where is this coming from? What is this YouTube?" And he thought it was funny when I said, "What is this the tube?" or whatever I said. It's like, I'm so old. This is why I don't talk to him much. So I'm going to smack you. Get down. Get down. Go. I'm tired of telling you no. There's only certain things I will take, even from a cat. If you don't listen, get the hell down. So I got a half an hour, which I'm not going to take this morning because I'm losing control of like 3 or 4 cats at this point. I'm not sure. I will, however, take a cigarette break. I ask again that anyone who sees me who's out there to please put down where you're from, what state or what city. I prefer to see state and city. I mean, it's just, I've been all around the world myself, published author, always been a hippie. Even in the army, I mean, my nickname is still Wicked. They gave me that nickname, and there's a long story behind it. In boot camp, on day one, I was the only one who had rank. I had 3 stripes. I had 3 chevrons. Even to earn a private, you're not a private with the rank at all. You don't have a chevron. So if you even see 1 chevron in boot camp, as far as the company, it's unusual. So I had 3, and that was for college and so forth and so forth. And I had been ROTC the whole time, and so I had earned my chevrons. I'd earned my stripes. And I knew from my cousins who would come back from NAM and so forth, what was going to be required. So those things were practice, push-ups, pull-ups, all that stuff was. And even though I was into archery and swimming and race, I did all those things. Gymnast, tennis, swam. I mean, we did all that in my high school. And so I thought I was in good shape. I've been taking karate lessons since I was 9, and I had to pay for that. The adopted parents didn't have that in their budget, which is understandable. Now I see. Now you want something to drink. And your eye is shut too. We're going to put some more antibiotic on there. Okay. I'm not sure if I should chalk this up and leave it in line. But at the same time, I guess everybody that does care about social Woodstock would see something about this apropos. Woodstock was Woodstock. It means it's peace, love, no war. Now, I can't say that to any other country because I'm an American and that's their country. Take Israel, for example, since I'm not off yet. I have not ever understood, and y'all know how old I am. Not do it. So Israel has always been told to stop the war. They were attacked. It was not. No, I'm talking, like 55 or something, 63, 77. And all those years they were attacked. Not by one country, for God's sakes, 2 or 3 or 4. I think there's 5 one time. The first one, the 5-day war, I'm not sure. It was called the 6-day war. But these people have been attacked since they got there. I don't know why anyone in any country thinks that it's okay for them to tell a country that's been attacked for 75 years. And then on October 7th, a horrendous evil was committed on almost 2,000 Israelis. And they have probably 20 or 30,000 displaced Israelis as well, because they had taken from the Lebanon border because they were shooting rockets at them. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if Canada shot 350 rockets in our direction in one night, think about it. I got time. They beat the shit out of us. I mean, we would be just it would be a disaster of immense proportions. We don't have a missile defense system set up that anyone knows about. I'll go with that. I'm praying that they got one, and I just don't know about it. you know, um, but what gives us the right to tell them they don't have the right to defend themselves? They're saying, "Oh, stop that." They want a ceasefire. They want the war stopped, and they want the Israelis to stop the war. And there's still 4 to 5 battalions in Rafah. So they said they bought 40,000 tents to put the civilians in if they would be away from Rafah. I don't know what more they can do. These people gave those 2,000 people no quarter, as a military person would say it. No quarter. Think of the Alamo when they told them, no quarter, you all dead. You die in the fighting or we'll kill you afterwards. That's what no quarter is. And they didn't have any notice. They would not do anything to these people. And they just slaughtered them. They cut up the heads of babies. They roasted babies alive. There's a lot of footage of things that they won't even tell us that did to the women in particular, and babies. Apparently, women and babies got the most horrendous deaths. Um, you know, tying couples with their 3 children together and then send an RPG through them. Now, you got to go a long way to be worse than Hitler. And these suckers nailed it. And I don't think that anybody has the right to tell Israel, don't get them, because they're still hitting them. And now it's Iran as well. Iran had already funded all this crap. They're the ones behind Hamas. They knew they'd been dumped. They knew they were out there. They knew it. So they said, what the hell? Sent 350 missiles in a night. 350 missiles in a night, folks. And now, mind you, this is at Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is where the holiest place is, or the second holiest place, I believe, for these countries, the Dome of the Rock. And Israel has protected it for, I think, since the 66 war when they got Jerusalem. They didn't have Jerusalem at first. And they won Jerusalem when they were attacked. And they have indeed protected this holy site for them. And they're sending rockets straight at it because that's how they want to kill the Israelis. Now, if you can get your mind around that, and I really can't, I don't understand what the hell is going on with these college students. If they were my kids, and my kids wouldn't be that stupid, they know I'd find them. I'm just saying. They also got an education from their mother, not these stupid public schools, especially in the South. I'm sorry, no hate mail, it's just fact. I know I put 2 kids through it, and I put my grandson through. And he'd tell anybody, any of his friends, and I knew most of his friends through all of his parties and his birthdays, his graduation, 8th grade, grandma through all those. And he would tell you, and so would his friends in a heartbeat. No, he learned all that from grandma, or we learned it from his grandma. And I just adore his friends. They're great to me. And my kids' friends also were the same way. I would make them come to my house for study weekend every weekend, pretty much. I'll throw something together. I'll send a cake or brownies or whatever. I'll be here Saturday at 3 with your books or whatever you got to have. Back then, you didn't have electronics. Well, I did. I was back on the AOL system because my husband wanted me to have a Bluemix computer at home. So, and I worked with him every day, so I really fussed about no. When I came home, and there it was. And then I said, well, if you're going to do that, I need a damn printer. I know. Got me a printer. The old dot matrix printer, too. Don't want her worried. She works a double shift. She's she got her deposit back on her apartment, but she's got to save up, and it costs a lot of money to move. And she had to move. So she's had to save up that money. It's several $1,000s if you just move across street. Because you got to pay all those deposits on all the utilities. You got to pay first and last month's rent. You got to, it's several $1,000s. You can't rent a home or an apartment for very long at a steady rate. You're lucky if you can buy a home and keep it at a steady rate. Just true. So I've gone through those, and everybody knows I'm annoyed about those. You can see that Fear fell back to sleep. Um, as a grandmother and a mother, even my husband has said, you could be a vet. I was like, because you can find anything on Google. So whatever their symptoms are, I'm flashing through, everything I can find about it on Google, and any vet that I don't have to pay to ask a question. And by the way, be careful when you do that, because if you go like just ask a question, that's one place. I had to have my card turned off because they tried to charge me. So yeah, gotta be careful when you're out there searching. You gotta search, but try not to get a place that will actually answer you, because somehow they're going to try to probably bill you for that answer. Yeah. Even me, I'm learning as I go, and I was in on the top of. I mean, I've used all of the technology that's been invented that kids use today. They broke it on us, so they finally got the bugs out for not the grandkids. Not all of them, the younger grandkids. And then if my grandson had a kid by now, he's 25, I'd be a great grandmother. I already hide the mirrors, so it's like, what next? But I mean, God keeps sending them, and somehow I've saved their lives. I ran upstairs to see how I call him Great Ghost, or her Great Ghost. That's the one that ran in the house and I couldn't catch from outside, and jumped up at Robert. Robert said, "Okay, she could stay." And I was like, because it's like way too much work for me, but it's keeping me busy. I gotta say, and then of course you just fall in love with them because they're all different. It's like Pixie. You've seen quite a bit of her butt this morning. It's just hard headed. One of those. She's the one that comes up and goes, "Tch, tch, tch, poof." What did you do when it hit the ground? You want to hurt the cat. It's like, because she does it on purpose. You watch, I've never seen that except on TV, and I thought they did the little treat thing and taught them how to do it. And ours do good treats and everything. Is why it's so expensive. But she will do it everywhere. She'll do it to stuff on the bar. She'll do it to stuff on the dresser, nightstand. If she could move the freaking lamp, she would. And doesn't listen worth a flip. I'll hit her with the water, as you saw, 2, 3, 4 times. She's like, seriously? That's you got? So they keep me on my toes, so to speak. So I'm sorry about all the mess this morning. And I appreciate all of you so very much. And I enjoy talking to everybody. I'm looking forward to sitting down and finding that I had quite a few comments. I don't see anybody in the live chat, mostly because of the time. I think constrictions, if I do 10 to 12, anywhere from 10 to 12, and I try to drop an hour. And I try to drop it to Facebook. Usually I can't. For those of you who do see this one, you can find me in search at Lady Hippy at the Bar, and you'll see 3 or 4 uploads that I've put in. Again, I don't drop other people's videos. I think that's kind of plagiaristic. I am a published author myself, but I wouldn't like to see somebody use my book as a header. You know, you're really upset about that, and put a stop to it. So it's like that to me. And I have many that I watch. I have a lot of the paranormal. If you want to know anything about the paranormal or anything about those type shows, I'll put a stream in. I'll throw some videos in after if I can get a day or two to ask them if it's okay. Um, they do have people they call reactors, and that's what they do. They hunt through and they pull out these videos, and then they'll drop them on their podcast, and that's neat, and it's how I've got to some of mine. But there's only one that I subscribe to, which is Casper's site, because I think it's funny. And oh, I'm trying too. And AJ and Hecklefish. It's called the Y Files. It's WY Files with a big red dot, and they are good and very funny. But he's got an entire production team too. Many of the successful podcasters, they've got a team behind them, looking through, dropping this, and then you're going in and you're editing and you're good to do what you're going to do with it. And it's hard. I think they put a lot of time in that. People don't give them credit. Joe Rogan, same thing. He's got a severe back up there. And he's so funny. I like Joe Rogan. I've always liked Joe Rogan. Back when he had hair a long time ago, right, Joe? So, yeah. But before I would take someone else's video or whatever, I would have to send an email, ask if that would be okay. I'm sure it is most of the time because, like I say, they have reactors that pull other videos from, Twin Paranormal or uh, Ghost of Carmel or things like that. And those guys are good, by the way. Paranormal Twins is excellent. They got all the equipment, including the SLS camera, so which is the one that makes a stick figure and it's dancing on your shoulder. And it's just spooky as hell because people are, hello, hello. And I'm like, you idiots. And the knocking, on the front doors, back doors, walls. Don't open the door. You got a problem, but don't open that door until that thing goes away. Because when you open the door, it's too late. That's an invitation. And those of us who have studied the paranormal for as many decades as I have, I'm screaming at the TV, don't open the door, don't open the door, don't open the door. They open all the doors, but then turn around, open the back door. So they have free entry and exit. As soon as you do that, I don't comprehend how or why. I'm just saying that's the way it is. I love the SLS. It's the Connect camera for a gaming system. I don't know which one now offhand. 'Cause I don't do the games. We got a Wii still for the grandson. But it's like 40 years old. So yeah, I mean, so I could do that. I just don't. I don't want to do that without permission. So if you do have any questions, look me up. Again, Lady Hippy at the Bar. It's a hippie with a Y, not an IE. That's the way we spelled it when back it started. They also call us baby boomers. I don't care for that tag very much, but I am a hippie and I have no problem with that. Like I said, my army nickname was Wicked, and when my son set up my email when I moved here, he threw that in. So that's my tag, Wicked. I'm 5'2". I used to be about 100 pounds wet, and now I think I hit about a 140. So you quit smoking and you don't move as much, you gain a little weight. The medicine's helpful, I'll tell you, between the back problems and so forth, and muscle spasms and stuff. So I take a lot of junk. I found that grapefruit is really good if you have high blood pressure. There are things that you can eat that will help you to control things like diabetes and so forth. And I did the study for gestational diabetes and put together the uh, book that they use to teach with today. And I'm happy and excited that I was on the bottom of that. I had to hire, fire, get the computers, all that stuff. And then, get all the information from NICUs. And we had three hospitals we were connected to, and I ran the NICU information on all three. One was the VA, one was the regular hospitals, and then the other was the county hospital, all connected. And I loved that job. I was always in a lab coat because I was always in NICU at neonatal. Um, and the gestational diabetes really hit the Hispanic um, nation badly. So we were always on them and giving them glucometers and checking them and calling them and keeping those stats and then putting those stats into the book. So and that was at UTV, Jesse, of Health Sciences in San Antonio. I love San Antonio. I'm devastated by what's happening to Texas. And I'm even more devastated by that clown that they keep calling president. Good grief. I don't know about the rest of y'all, and I have new irises in my eyes. I had them operated on. The VA did it, and they put new irises in. Now I have these bright green eyes instead of the hazel I used to have, which my kids would say, "Oh, her eyes are turning color," and then they knew. Smart asses. And so, yeah, I'm looking at things going, Yeah, Mars is got blue. They keep coloring orange in the pictures, but Mars is actually getting blue. It's just stuff like that, that you see and you go, oh my word. When I saw the camel float by Saudi, I was like done. And Dubai is camels are fighting. I still can't get over that image. And I ended up laughing. I didn't mean to laugh at it because I was worried, where it would end up. Could they get out of it or whatever? And it got worse. They got even more water, then more water. Dubai was just devastated. All over the world, these things are happening. So, if I skip out of one subject and into another, and I beg your forgiveness. Throw a question in there. Say, hey, you didn't answer this part of your soliloquy. That's the snifter's problem. But do enjoy being up here. But I really can't stay because I have so much to do today. So come and see me, sit at the bar, throw in something in comments, hit that bell. It makes the channel so much better. Again, I don't have a production team. I probably wouldn't want one. I'm very bossy. So they'd probably quit a lot. Then we're all at the bar, so they'd either be drunk or fired. In any event, I gotta go. So, guys, have a great day. Just know that I do love and appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope I get to know you better on social network here that I call Woodstock. So have a brighter day, guys. Toodles.